So this is the story behind the story of the invention of the iconic children's toy, the Slinky. But it's not just about the invention of this toy, it's a story of heartbreak and resilience. It was the year 1943, and Richard James, a naval engineer in Philadelphia, was working with tension springs. These were coiled springs that were used to stabilize equipment on ships. One of these accidentally toppled off his desk onto the floor, and instead of just falling in a heap of metal, it did this walking kind of motion. Well, Richard knew instantly that this could be a children's toy. He was a creative kind of guy, and he thought, yeah, let's do something with it. He went home, talked to his wife, and convinced her that they should borrow $500, and they made 400 of these Slinkies. And in the year 1945, they approached Gimbel's department store, and Richard demonstrated this toy, and in less than 90 minutes, they sold every one. Kids were mesmerized by this toy. Parents didn't mind buying it. It was only sold for $1 a Slinky, so it was no big deal to them. But this is where it gets interesting. From 1945 onward, the company's doing quite well, making a fair amount of money. And Richard decides in the early 1960s that he should join a religious mission in Bolivia. So one day he just packs up. He walks away from the company, from Betty and all their 6 children. And Betty didn't just fold, though. She took over the control of the company, moved it to another part of Pennsylvania, and paid off the debts and gave the Slinky a second life. She hired some musicians to write an unforgettable jingle. She ran the company until 1998, and by then over 3 million Slinkies had been sold worldwide. This was enough wire to circle the earth hundreds of times. So, the invention of the Slinky isn't just about a toy. It's a story of creativity and discovery, of walking away from one life into another, and about one woman who turned abandonment into perseverance and went on to market and sell a creative toy that became iconic and remembered by hundreds of millions of children worldwide. It's like a made-for-television drama. Sometimes the story behind the invention of something is just as interesting as the story itself.